Let's make a vintage style cake. I'm adding a final layer of American buttercream to my crumb-coated chocolate cake, scraping it nice and smooth, using a wooden skewer to make some marks on the top of the cake so that I can plan out my piping. And I also have this tin full of round cutters I'm going to use to make some marks on the side of the cake because it's super important to plan out your piping. I have a Wilton 4B star piping tip I'm going to use to create a large shell border all the way around the base of the cake. And then I'm also using a slightly smaller Wilton 32 star tip to make a smaller shell border on top. Now switching to a Wilton number 10, which is a round piping tip to make the scallop shape on the top of the cake, although I didn't like how some of it turned out, so I scraped it off and redid it. Now using a leaf-shaped piping tip to add this ruffle effect. I really wanted to show this to you guys, but every time I tried it just wouldn't work with the camera angle, and I had to make sure the cake came out great for the customer. Adding another small shell around the top outside edge of the cake, and then I add a really big shell around the top edge because more is more with these Victorian style cakes. I also wanted to mention that sometimes you'll hear these cakes referred to as Lambeth style, but Lambeth is a very specific style made by using royal icing that is overlapped in very intricate designs, so this is a little different because it's just buttercream, which is why I refer to it as vintage Victorian style. Now adding on a few pearl sprinkles and our vintage style cake is all done. I hope you enjoyed. Follow for more.